The catapult was invented in 400 BC and it was used to destroy castles. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how that same theory, that same technique can be used in your golf swing to destroy your golf ball to get maximum compression and maximum distance. You do not want to miss this video. Now, in every single example on the screen next to me, they are using this exact method. Now, how do I know they're using this? Well, what they are doing incredibly is they are transferring their energy from their body down their arms, down the club into the club head. Now, the whole theory of a catapult is that we can get that object traveling as fast as possible. Well, in golf, we want to get the ball traveling as fast as possible. We need the club head to be traveling as fast as possible. There is no point having speed in the body if you cannot translate it to the club head. And that's what I'm going to show you today. So if you've been told to rotate your body as hard as possible in the swing, then I'm going to show you how that is wasted energy. If actually you just sequence your body better, you are going to get the ball going so much further. Now, the first thing I want to do is show you a little bit of a demonstration. So I have a towel right here. Now, one of the key things that we're trying to do is sequence our body. Now, in order to do that, the fancy thing we actually have to do is slow down our hand in order to translate the energy into the end of the towel. If I just turn my body as fast as possible, yes, I can get a little bit of speed in the end of the towel, but it doesn't quite work as well as if I go and I actually slow my hand down and get that whiplash effect, that catapult effect. It's the same exact principle in our golf swing. We need to send that energy into the end of the towel to get the maximum amount of clubhead speed. Same thing with our golf club. So what does that actually look like in the golf swing? Well, what we will see is this terminology thrown around like lag and creating angle. In reality, what that is there is we are creating speed in our arms and our body to start within the downswing. So as we get to the top, we are shifting, turning and pulling the arms down. When we do this, we are creating speed in our body and in our arms. This helps us create lag, so we get angle in the back of our trail wrist. See this angle, see this lag as stored energy that is ready to be released. Just like when we pull on the towel, we have all of this stored energy. The key to utilize this is to be able to release that energy into the club head. Okay, so the first thing that we want to be able to do in order to do this is keep our forearms relatively relaxed, relatively loose. Because one of the things that we see in golf that is so crucial is something called float loading. What is float loading? Float loading is when we go back and the club is relatively wide on the way back, and as we start down, we get this energy in the back of the right wrist. We get this angle created in the back of this right wrist. A crucial part of it is having relaxed forearms. Now, how relaxed should your forearms be? Well, here's the best way to find it. Get your hands on the club and just do some small circles right here. This will give you the right amount of grip pressure, so enough to control the club. Now, your grip pressure will change throughout your swing, so don't worry too much about that. It's more about the tension in your forearms. You see how there is a little bit of tension to control the club, but it's nothing crazy. This still gives us the mobility in order to get that beautiful float loading, that down cocking, and then allow us to also release the club on the way through. So the next part we're going to go through is getting us this potential energy, getting us into the position to where we can release everything with this catapult effect. So what we need to do is we need to start the process of shifting, turning and pulling the arms down. Yes, I said pulling because we have to create hand speed. The best players in the world create more hand speed earlier on in the downswing than amateurs. So they are pulling on the club, in fact. So what we're going to do is go to the top and start to feel like as we start down, there is a shift into the ball of the left foot, and we get some energy by pulling those hands straight down a lot quicker. What's a really great drill to do to help us feel this? So here's my favorite one. Get rid of your golf club, grab an alignment stick. Now in this situation here, we're going to start with a split hands variation. So grip the club normally, then slide your right hand down about half a foot. Now in this situation here, you can see I have a split hands grip. You're going to swing to the top and pump and stop your arms as quickly as possible in the downswing. Here, now in this position here, you can see I stop with my weight on my left leg, and I've stopped really quickly. In order to get that fast stop, I have to learn to accelerate my hands down at a fast rate. Now actually this deceleration, watch what happens to the end of the alignment stick right here. You see how it gets loads of that wiggle? So what we're actually doing there is already practicing the catapult effect. Not only are we learning to accelerate early and stop, but we're learning to decelerate. That's such a crucial part of actually getting all of the energy into the club head. So do this a couple of times. Here, stop as quickly as you can. Feel that weight shift. And you can see I'm pulling downwards. My chest is staying relatively passive. I can feel my hips naturally want to turn, but I'm getting as much energy into the golf club, into the alignment stick as possible. Now, once you've done that a couple times, now do it with a golf club. So here, split hands grip to the top, pump and stop, pump and stop. And you'll start to notice what it feels like to get a little bit of speed whilst we're shifting towards the target in the transition. Now, like I said, that's given us the potential to be able to get into a good position. But now I'm going to give you 2 surefire exercises that are going to teach you how to deliver that energy into the club head and therefore into the ball. So just like a catapult, we're not destroying castles, we're destroying golf balls. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to do is what I call a stop drill. We are going to make a swing. We're going to try and hit the ball as far as possible, but stop as quickly as humanly possible after impact. Now, when we stop as quickly as humanly possible after impact, we want a few things in place. Number 1, I want your weight to be on your left leg. And number 2, I want you to feel like you've returned the left arm and the shaft back into one straight line. So both your arms are going to be dead straight. If I show you what that looks like here, I'll explain in a little bit more detail what this is actually doing. So you can see there as I stop, that ball's actually gone a really good distance. But the biggest thing that I can feel when I'm doing that is I have to accelerate early, but then I have to stop early. Now, when I do that, I can feel that club head just flash through the ball. It's a really strange sensation because as much as I'm trying to get energy into my body, I'm learning what it feels like to let that club head go. And sometimes to start with, it feels a little bit uncontrollable because the club head will move at such fast speeds if you actually allow it to start to release. Now, a lot of golfers struggle with this drill to start with because when they do this, they look like this on the way through. They're too long and their arms collapse. What does that tell you? It tells you you didn't accelerate and therefore stop quick enough, stop early enough. So you've got to do everything way earlier. And this is the biggest hurdle in golf. The best players in the world actually do all these motions so quickly and so early compared to amateurs. And we can see this on the graph. So you're trying to get there at the top in a good position and then feel like you can accelerate and decelerate as fast as possible. And then from there, stop. And you can see that I'm stopping as quickly as possible and it's getting me that good compression. So the second analogy I'm going to give you is a simple paintbrush. Now, what I want you to imagine is as you're doing this motion, it's very much like I'm trying to do one giant stroke with a paintbrush. So we get to the top, we pull down fast, we create that potential energy, but then we learn to stop. What would the wrist be doing when we learn to stop? So we create that energy, we can see the right wrist has that angle, and just like a paint stroke, when I finish a paint stroke, I'm going to do just that little bit of a flick just at the end. So we can get just that little bit of an underhand release sensation. That just ensures we get all of the energy into the club head. So if I do that here, I go to the top, I create that energy, and now I release it with a little bit of this underhand throw sensation. If I turn to you right here, watch where this club gets to. A little bit of that underhand throw sensation, right hand's under, face is super stable. It's a great way of being able to find that good follow through position, that good release position, that slight underhand throw sensation. I absolutely love this. So again, we're trying to feel like we put the energy in early and then we actually are slowing our body down so we can transfer the energy into the club head through the ball. So here's what it will look like, that little underhand throw sensation. Let's give it a whack. Now for me, by far, that is the best feeling. A lot of golfers are out there doing this release. They're just doing this way too early, which creates that casting and scooping look. So if I show you that one more time, I'm gonna set up here. So I'm gonna feel like I'm a catapult in this situation. I'm gonna shift and pull to create that angle, and then I'm going to learn to release that angle on the way through, a little bit of that underhand throw sensation, trying to get all the energy into the club head. Here's what it'll look like. and that felt amazing. Bit of a push draw right there. Now, if you need more one-to-one help with your game, I offer online coaching on the Skillest platform. I also do golf schools in both Boston and Florida. Again, the link is down below for that. And if you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and the channel a subscribe, and I hope to see you back here soon.